Now, if you're an experienced developer, you might still be skeptical. You know everything, so why do you need some worse programmer to be by your side all day? And I think that using cursor on a daily basis lets you really offload a lot of like non-critical stuff so that you free up your mind for the really important stuff. So here I have a part of a work repository. I hope our CEO is okay with this. And I have to update this. I actually have to go ahead and basically do some garbage collection. So this is kind of like a protocol class where essentially you connect to it, you give it audio, and eventually you're supposed to disconnect and end your session. But sometimes a client might get disconnected and just never finish the session. And so that's going to stay in memory forever. And so eventually, if this service runs long enough, it's going to run out of memory and it's going to crash, and that's not very good. So I need to go ahead and change this protocol so that it kind of keeps track of the last time it receives a message from a certain client, and it will keep that in memory. So let's go ahead and see. So here's our receive message function, I guess method. So here's like a start session, receive audio frame, process minute range, get pre-signed URL. Okay, cool. So it looks like no matter what, we're always going to have the session ID. So what we should kind of do is, well, hey, look, I already have a solution in my mind, right? I'm just going to keep track in the map of the last time we get something, get a request from a certain session ID, and and then have do like a set interval from our constructor to go ahead and read for that map, see what sessions haven't received the message for like 3 minutes, and then clear them from memory. That's the solution I have. I'm going to go ahead and tell Claude about my problem, and we're going to go see how it resolves it. So, and my directory is a little messy. Just ignore that. This is what a real working code base looks like, So let's go ahead and see. Okay, so I did some digging in this file, and I found that, when I start the session, I'm checking if the session already exists. And if it already exists, then what it does is it deletes the information that's already there, basically the audio information that's already there from our storage service and from the audio processor. So what this means is that we can get a really nice, easy way to clean up the storage and the memory on the service that's running this protocol. And so, you don't always want to, you want to give like, you want to throw a bone basically to the AI, give it a hint. So what I wrote was, I want to keep track of how long it's been since the session ID that hasn't called end session last sent a message to receive message. If a message hasn't been received for at least 4 minutes, I want the session to be cleaned up and removed from memory by calling destructive delete stream on the session streams. And let's see what it does. So we can see it edited some code. I'm going to go scroll up to see what it did. So it imported setTimeout and ClearTimeout. Okay, here's session timeout, 4 minutes as milliseconds. Session timeout is a map with NodeJS.Timeouts. Okay. Oh, because then we can cancel the timeout every time we get a new message. Is that what it's going to do? That's really cool. And I'm sorry if you don't know JavaScript. This might be a little confusing, but that's actually, okay, that's kind of cool. Interesting. So when it receives a message, it resets the session timeout according to the session ID, and it's kind of changing this. I guess it's putting it all in one line. When I run bun format, it'll kind of fix that. So let's just go ahead and keep scrolling. This should be the same. It removes a comment sometimes, and I don't really like that. That is one thing to watch out for. It'll just randomly remove some comments. That's why you should really use some form of version control. Then it's easy to see what changes it made. But then there's a reset session timeout. It I'll go ahead and clear the timeout. It'll go ahead and set a new timeout. And why is this underlined? Argument of type timer is not assigned. Interesting. Okay. I can take a look. After end session, it'll clear the timeout. Okay, cool. Let's just accept it and revert some changes. So I want my comment back here. So I can click here and revert, deleting this line. I'm going to go ahead and open the panel here, and I'm going to go ahead and run format. It's just, oh, I have to go into the subfolder. Cool. All right. So now let's go ahead and see. So now we have all of our formatting back, and we can see what changes it make. This returns the frame condition counting. Oh, okay. Let's undo that delete. Okay. And let's see. Just like an empty line here. I don't like it. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so reset session timeout. This is still giving us an error. This not cleanup session. This is a timeout. Okay, honestly, I could try to read into it, but it's just faster to just ask an AI chat. Okay, I'm not fond of just casting it to say trust me. So if we go to cleanup session, okay. So, oh, I see. Because set timeout, does it normally return anything? It's just. Okay. Now I get what it's doing. But yeah, it returns a, no, yeah, it's saying it returns a timer. Okay. And there's nothing wrong if it's a timer. You just have to declare it here. And so in that case, you know, the suggested solution wasn't exactly right. But that's why it's really good to use, you know, strongly typed languages. So if you were using like Java or C, you'd have, you know, it'd be an even easier time. Let's go ahead and see. I think this should work. Because it's doing this.session timeouts delete with the session ID. It's clearing that timeout, and that's pretty good. And let's see. Reset session timeout. It's gonna clear the timeout, and it sets a new timeout. Okay. And the timeout is set so that it will run this function here, or this method. So it's gonna clean up the inactive session, and it will go ahead and destructive delete stream the microphone interviewer. It'll delete the active session, session start time, and session timeouts. Okay. I think that's pretty good. It's slightly different than how I would have done it, but I think it's like a cleaner implementation this way. I would have had like a function that gets called that goes in a loop, just loops over and sees if, you know, it's been 4 minutes. So overall, I'm pretty impressed. I'm just gonna go ahead and see. I can delete this import since it's grayed out. And honestly, it looks good. I'm gonna go test it out after this. But yeah, I did it basically in one shot, so that's awesome.